Welcome to another edition of Islanders Insider, as we come to you from the locker room today here again on the campus of Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi. We're going to be speaking with the head coach of Islander men's basketball, Willis Wilson, as well as the head coach of Islanders softball, Blake Miller, joining us for the first time today. We also have a special feature showing up a little bit later, focusing on Islander senior men's basketball players. Right now, let's talk with the head coach, Willis Wilson. How are you doing, sir?
Doing well, doing well.
A lot has happened since the last time we've been here in the locker room together. The conference tournament has come and gone. The postseason began in the collegeinsider.com postseason tournament. When you look at the postseason in particular and the CIT, why is it so important to participate in a postseason event, especially a program of our size?
The most obvious answer that I think gets overlooked so often is just the opportunity to compete.
Sure.
Kids come to college to play college basketball. College basketball is not really a social thing, it's a competitive thing, and it's one of those opportunities that you have to play against good competition. There are no bad teams in postseason. There are no bad teams this time of year. Everybody wants to win. Everybody's willing to do a little bit more and a little bit extra, so it's a real challenge to be able to go out and test yourself and play collectively as a team. And you're playing against opponents that normally you hadn't played against all season long, don't have a great deal of familiarity with, and it's kind of on a national stage. So we're really excited about having this opportunity, and our guys have really embraced the moment.
Sure. In the team credo, CTT, character, toughness, talent. Character is the C. Now, considering the different ways of emotion that the team has had to go through over the last month, not getting to the NCAAs in an overtime loss, I know that was pretty painful. How has the team's character driven them to overcome that emotion and, continue to compete the way they have?
We use that term character. We've got a specific definition, but it's really a lot broader than that. Character is just being where you're supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to be doing, when you're supposed to be doing it. But what it really is a choice. When you're where you're supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to be doing, you have to make that choice to be where you're supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing, and to do it when you're supposed to be doing it. And that's kind of the question that our guys had to answer. A year ago, losing in the conference championship game and having a chance to go to postseason, we had some guys that just struggled. We were beat up a little bit physically and emotionally, really drained from the loss. This year's loss in the conference championship was more heartbreaking. We left a lot more on the floor. We played a good basketball game and felt like we deserved to win. But when it came time to play in postseason, it was a choice. And I think our guys learned from last year's experience, and they've really taken advantage to make it a choice that, hey, we are in a position to continue to compete. Let's make the most of this opportunity.
One of the kids that really exemplifies what we're talking about here is a kid, who's a senior, Jay Coer. Jay Coer is an unbelievable kid, a warrior spirit. It's been documented in news articles about him having to contend with a significant illness at the end of conference and getting into the postseason. But finding the wherewithal to not only compete but to be a substantial contributor to the team, to the team's success, it's just pretty amazing. I mean, the fact of the matter is he lost 21 pounds in less than a week, but he's out here grinding, and I don't know how.
3 or 4 days.
I don't even know how he does it. Let's just put it this way. Now, I talked to his dad. His dad doesn't know how he does it.
Well, he lost 3 or 4 pounds or 20 pounds in 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly a lot less than a week.
Yeah.
I think it's a matter of mind over matter. He's a guy that has made a decision. He recognizes this is probably the end of his basketball career, and he really wants to go out with a bang, and he doesn't want to let anything stand in the way of him having that opportunity. And short of not being able to walk, he's going to try, as long as the doctors and the trainers say that he can go. We'll put him out there, knowing that this is his last opportunity, and we're at the stretch run. There are one. And if we're really fortunate and blessed, there'll be 2 more games.
He's one of those great ones to have leading the charge, and when it comes to this too, leading by example. Now, Rashawn Thomas, another one of your seniors, an unbelievable run that he's on. He's on an unbelievable run. Over the last 17 games, averaging 26.5 points per game, 9.4 boards, 2.8 assists, 1.6 steals, shooting 55%, 52% from 3, which is the one that always kind of baffles me. But from the foul line, looking at some of the numbers, I think he's like number 3 in the country in free throw attempts. I mean, just have you experienced a run with a player such as this in your coaching career?
Yeah, But it
You've
only
been around a
happens-
while.
but
You've been
it-
around a while.
But it only happens with the great ones.
It's true.
I mean, the guys that have done that have been NBA players. They're pros,
Yeah.
and there's no doubt about it. They separate themselves every night with their play, and that's what Rashawn's done. I think the difference between Rashawn and some of the other guys I've had, and some of those guys are first-round draft picks, but the difference is Rashawn does it in every aspect of the game, which is incredibly unique. Everybody looks at his scoring numbers and they look at the rebound numbers, but they forget how versatile he is on the defensive side of the ball, and his willingness to lead and talk and communicate. He brings so many intangibles to the table. It's been terrific for us.
There's only a handful of teams in Division I still competing. Do the players understand how special that is?
They do. I think it's soaked in here, especially after the most recent win against IP Fort Wayne. I think they really look at it with some uniqueness and begin to recognize what a special opportunity it would be to take this thing all the way. So guys have done a nice job, and they have a great perspective. That's what I've really enjoyed about them. Right now, it's just basketball, and it's been a lot of fun.
Coach, good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Willis Wilson joining us here once again in the locker room. Right now, let's check in with Shelby Hodges with an Islanders update.